welcome to Seen Through Glass. Red Crew is back! Okay, so not necessarily Red Crew, because it's just me. Well, actually, Seb's car's a bit red. Anyway, I'm getting caught up in the details. My car is red again. I am so happy to have a red car. I don't know why it makes such a difference to me, but for some reason it does. And I think now I can probably be honest with myself and with you guys when I say that the satin khaki green, it didn't quite work. I do still love that colour, and I think in the winter it was amazing. When it was a cloudy, wet day, it just looked so different and so mean. But now that the sun, unbelievably, is out in the UK, I just kind of started to fall out of love with it, and as I say, it desaturated. So, in case you missed it, a few weeks ago, post the Geneva Motor Show, I was lucky enough to get my hands on a red 540C that belonged to McLaren cars, and I fell in love with the idea of rewrapping my car red. So I got in touch with the poor guys at Dub Customs and said, guys, I'm really sorry, I want to rewrap my car. After I think they probably moaned and complained about me in the background, they finally agreed to do so. And we started discussing what red I wanted to use to rewrap the car. Initially they said, well, do you just want to go True Blood again, like I used to have on my Jaguar F-Type? But I kind of felt like we'd moved past True Blood. As a beautiful a colour as it was, it feels like we've kind of been there, done that. So I wanted to try and find a new red, and there are some amazing ones out there. We spent weeks and weeks looking at tons of different samples. The guys at Dub were very, very helpful at suggesting lots and lots of different colours, but none of them sat quite right with me. They were either a bit too bright, or weren't quite metallic enough, or were satin and I wanted gloss. Anyway, after a long time going back and forth, Dub presented me with a completely unique hybrid wrap, which is called Dub Fire Red. It is the most beautiful red I have ever seen, and it is perfect in my mind for this car. The actual base is a very inky, quite dark red. It's a bit brighter than True Blood previously, but a bit darker than the red 540C I drove post-Geneva. That was perfect in my mind. It is then set on fire, emojis everywhere, by gold flake, and this is where Dub were geniuses. They obviously saw the gold heat shield wrapping on my new Larini exhaust, and they said, why don't we try and put that into the wrap somehow? If you've ever seen a McLaren metallic paint, or even a McLaren MSO paint, you will know that they have an amazing amount of sort of glitter and flake in them, and somehow the guys at Dub have managed to recreate that in a wrap, this Dub Fire Red wrap. When you're 5 or 10 foot away from the car, it just looks like a red car, but the minute you get closer to it, or the minute the sun hits it, you start to notice these kind of like these bursts of gold or yellow sparkle, and it gives the car at times a kind of orange tinge, which was another reason that I was like, oh my god, you guys have absolutely nailed it. I know a lot of you were calling out for me to wrap my car orange so that I could join Tony at Gravelwood Car Sales and Paul Wallace in Orange Crew, but I just, heart of hearts, I'm not an orange guy. I'm a red guy. I'm a Red Crew guy through and through. So that wasn't ever going to be an option, but I really liked the fact in some of these samples that Dub sent over that there was kind of like a hint to orange. So as I say, they have knocked it out the park. That's a very American saying, isn't it? With this wrap, I'm ecstatic with it, and I've teamed up with Dub to be able to give you guys a discount if you've fallen in love with the colour as much as I have, because hopefully as the videos and photos continue to come out, you will just see how amazing this thing is in the sunlight, and even when it's not sunny. So if you get in touch with Dub and use the discount code STG, very simple, you can get a £200 discount on any Dub Fire Red wrap. So as I say, if you love this colour, if you want a red car as well, if you want to join Red Crew, let's make Red Crew huge, get in touch with Dub and use the discount code STG.
Now, I wouldn't be seen through glass, and I wouldn't be who I was if I then didn't do something with the design to upset some of you, so I introduced the black bonnet. I realise that not all of you are going to love this feature, but me personally, I am so happy with the way it turned out.
Now, I was a little bit nervous putting it on because I wasn't entirely sure how it would look, but as I say, I'm ecstatic now with the black bonnet and the black roof. The original inspiration came from the McLaren 650S Can-Am car.
Now, it's not a very well-known limited edition 650S, but when it was launched, it had red paint and a black or carbon bonnet and roof. And I just thought it looked super mean and really freaking cool. And then I started to see some McLaren 720Ss that appeared to have black bonnets, and I wondered whether maybe that would be a specable option on the new cars. So I thought, screw it, if McLaren are doing it themselves on some of their cars, I might as well give it a go.
So, whilst Dub were incredibly hesitant to do so, I forced them into wrapping the bonnet and the roof of my car black. Now, we didn't go sort of straight up, straightforward black. The only other colour on my car is palladium silver, a McLaren colour that they use when you're not speccing carbon. They paint the parts in palladium silver. It's a very glittery, very dark, grey silver, and we managed to find a wrap material which was very close to that to wrap my mirrors when we did the car in satin khaki green. So the guys at Dub suggested that we use that same material for the bonnet and for the roof, and it has turned out amazingly because again it's got that metallic glittery flake. It's satin, so it offsets, I think, the gloss very well and just makes all the parts stand out. I'm so happy. As I say, I know it'll be controversial. Hopefully some of you love it. I absolutely adore the new design. I think it makes the car look super mean and super aggressive, so I'm very happy. And for those of you that don't particularly like it, I understand, that's totally fine, but it's my car, and as I say, I'm very happy. Finally, eagle-eyed viewers will realise that I haven't just rewrapped this car. There is another addition. I've added some aftermarket side skirts. Now, one thing which kind of, oh, tunnel. I realise I haven't done a review video on my exhaust yet. That is coming. I wanted to wait until the car had been rewrapped. I will be doing a full review of the Larini GT1 system once I get down to Monaco. But yes, very quickly, side skirts. So one thing which I was always a little bit disappointed by with the 540C was that they had different side skirts to the 570S. It's kind of like the only visual way that you can tell the cars apart. 570S has these mean, wide, aggressive side skirts. 540Cs are kind of really thin and tuck underneath the car. So when I bought the car, I always knew I wanted to find a way to either get the 570 side skirts or some aftermarket options. And that is where Scuderia Car Parts came to my rescue. I got in touch with them, we talked through some of the options and managed to find these awesome looking, aggressive, really wide side skirts. Now, they're a little bit different to the McLaren design because they kind of go up onto the body. So it's a bit of a different look, but once they were fitted, I was like, yes, they look amazing. They've been wrapped in the same palladium silver-esque vinyl as the bonnet and the roof and the wing mirrors. And as I say, I think they just make the car look lower, a little bit wider, just a bit meaner, and I'm so happy with this entire new package. I feel like I've got a new car. I don't know why, and I think, as I said at the beginning of this video, if I'm honest with myself, the green didn't quite work, and it was holding me back from fully falling in love with this car. As a driving experience, I was there. I was like, this is the best thing in the world, but when I walked towards it, I was like, something's not quite right. But now, every time I look at this thing, I'm like, this is the best car on the road. I am literally so happy, so obsessed, and so excited to now get down to Monaco for top marks and the adventures afterwards. We are leaving on Sunday. Me, James, Mr. JWW, and Paul Wallace. I cannot wait to see all the cars together, but I cannot wait for the adventures in my now rewrapped red 540C. I hope you guys like it. I mean, yeah, I hope you guys like it. Give it a thumbs up if you are excited for all the adventures that are ahead. Make sure you're subscribed, and don't forget, if you want to get in on the Dub Fire Red #Red Crew, get in touch with Dub, use that discount code STG, £200 off, and I hope to see as many red cars out there as possible in the coming months.